Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, OG.
Excellent. Why can't you introduce me all the time, Tundu?
You know, we need more, pizzazz.
No, you have to say TGIF.
Bells and whistles.
TGIF.
Okay, TGIF. Darling, I'm very subdued today. I'm not able to summon.
Don't worry. Good morning, Rufai.
Good morning, OG. How
TGIF. I'm feeling much better, thank God.
You're a trooper, despite not being that great.
Yes.
Still come out here.
I love my job. We all do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United States, in a record-breaking feat, Ebony Live, owned by Mosumola Abudu, also known as Mo Abudu, will become a case study for master's students at the Harvard Business School. The media mogul took to Instagram on Thursday to make the announcement, stating that it is the first time in history a media company owned by an African female will be taught as a compulsory class for first-year students at the prestigious school. And reality TV star and entrepreneur Kim Kardashian flew 30 Afghan women youth football players and their families to the United Kingdom on Thursday with the help of the English Premier League club, Leeds United. The Afghan football players and their families will spend 10 days in coronavirus quarantine before starting their new lives in Britain. In Egypt, Prince Charles and Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, were pictured on Thursday visiting the Great Sphinx, a monument that was built 4,500 years ago. After they arrived the country, they met with Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the country's leader, and the First Lady, Entisa Amer. The royals, who were on a 4-day tour of the Middle East, were also shown around the Great Pyramids of Giza, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Under sports, 30-year-old former NFL running back Zach Stacy is facing 2 felony charges in Florida after his ex-girlfriend posted a video where he assaulted her by throwing her against a wall at her home in front of their 5-month-old son on social media. If convicted, Stacy, who has now been declared missing, could face up to 15 years in prison on aggravated battery and up to 5 years on criminal mischief. Finally, under entertainment, the Screen Actors Guild on Thursday selected Dame Helen Mirren as their 57th Life Achievement Award recipient. The 76-year-old English actress, who has credits spanning over 50 years, will be adding the latest SAG honor to a robust collection of awards, including an Oscar, a Tony, and multiple SAG, Emmy, and BAFTA awards. Well, let's begin what's trending. The fashion label Fendi began trending on Twitter after Ifeanyi Ejiofor, counsel to Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, raised the alarm on Thursday that the separatist leader has not been allowed to change clothes since he was arrested and detained in the custody of the Department of State Services. The lawyer alleged that Kanu has been subjected to harsh, degrading and inhumane treatment in the DSS custody, and that prisoners who visit Kanu are subsequently detained as punishment for exchanging pleasantries with the IPOB leader. The lawyer also claimed that Kanu is confined to a very tiny cell, 23 hours of the day, without access to sunlight and any social interactions whatsoever, and believes the punishment is aimed at inflicting extreme emotional and mental distress on Kanu, who has been seen wearing the same Fendi apparel during his court appearances. I mean, there were so many allegations. Ifeanyi Ejiofor and the other lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu alleged the maltreatment of Nnamdi Kanu in DSS custody is completely appalling and unfair. I'm not even sure if this is how they treat prisoners that are undergoing trial, Tundu, at this point. So many things like his glasses, medication, he's not allowed to sleep on a pillow, people are not allowed to talk to him. And this outfit, I actually thought that he wanted to just wear it to his court appearance. But now everyone on Twitter is talking about the outfit. Even some people are making mockery, saying that maybe they actually even thought that it was Fendi sponsoring the lawsuit. But that's on a lighter note. But I mean, can you believe all of the allegations, Tunde Abiola?
You know, Nigerians and our gallows humor. When you don't want to cry, you just have to try and make yourself laugh in the face of all kinds of horrors. You know, I have experience, first-hand experience of this, and all I can say for Nnamdi Kanu is that I hope he doesn't go through this for 4 years like my father did. Yes. 4 long years. That was his reality. And the next thing that's going to happen is because these reports come out and make the federal government look bad, the next thing is that they could stop people from seeing him at all, and he'll just be there all by himself, no access even to a doctor, even to a lawyer, certainly no family members like what we went through as a family. And I saw Nnamdi Kanu during his court appearance, you know, trying to put a brave face on things. You know, men and their pride, he doesn't want to show. I guess he doesn't want to even sort of weaken the people who really believe in him and support him. He's trying to put a brave face on it, trying to look normal. But what he's going through is the exact opposite of normal, which is why I've sat here on a few occasions and said people should be very careful with their utterances, with their actions, so that they do not get this man killed. It has happened before. It must never happen again. And it's just very sad that here we are in 2021, after people, well, my dad died for democracy. We're still having this conversation in 2021 of somebody being treated so appallingly, like they're kind of a serial killer. Under what circumstances should somebody be treated like this?
I was going to ask.
So I'm hoping that the DSS will come out with a statement and completely deny these accusations and prove that the accusations are completely false and that he is being allowed a change of clothes. I mean, really. This is, you know, there's all kinds, we think of, I don't know, Guantanamo Bay and, you know, water torture and, you know, the loud music blaring as forms of torture. But then solitary confinement is a form of torture.
Yeah.
It is.
Putting somebody in a tiny cell for 23 hours is a form of torture. And it's just really sickening. We're still having this conversation in this country. Over to the DSS, I really do hope that they actually deny this and that denial is true.
Yes, we're waiting for that. Rufai.
I mean, when you look at all the accounts, let's not forget that Nnamdi Kanu has got rights in this country. And those rights, please, for the sake of peace in this country, must be enforced. You can't keep a man without change of clothes for how many months now? The times he has appeared in court, keeps wearing one same clothes. Let him get a change of clothes. If he needs to see his doctors, let him see his doctors. If he needs to talk to his lawyers, let him talk to his lawyers. Because it is a gory experience, being in solitary confinement. My first vivid understanding of this was through the works of Wole Soyinka, The Man Died, his prison memoirs. It is not a good place to be at all. Another experience of this was through the works of A Day in the Life of Denzel Ivanovic. This was another prison account of how gory and debilitating and excruciatingly painful the experience of prison is. The psychological trauma for life is something he'll deal with. People never get out of it. They get panic attacks all their lives. So please, every right possible should be accorded to him. But as I always repeat, how did we get here? We got here because the sufferings of the people were looked away from. We got here because of marginalization. And today, the roster goes on. It is Nnamdi Kanu today, and I ask, who is it tomorrow? At some point, if Isaac Adakaboro was to tell you his experience, he'll say similar things. But when the nation went to war in the 60s, Adakaboro fought on the side of the government. Why do we keep having people that go against the state and they get some legitimacy? The state has to be fair for all.
Absolutely.
In all of this, we keep pleading, if possible, The state has to be fair for all. I'm not saying that anything is a utopia, that if the state starts being fair now, we will not have people agitate. But in all of this, if the state is fair, a lot of people will say, yes, there's a level of fairness. But can we truly say over the years, like in the case of Kensaro, Wiwa and the Ogoni 9, the state was fair? We can't keep doing this to ourselves.
I think you're so lucky to be referring to memoirs rather than real life experience. But if you're talking prison memoirs, Ballad of Red and Gold,
Yeah.
that poem, Oscar Wilde, and for me, my favorite, well, because it's just harrowing, Boethius, in 500 AD or something, the Roman senator, that was eventually executed. His prison memoirs is
So sad. Really.
really, it's
Well,
not.
we're waiting for an explanation on this allegation. We'll take another story. Well, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has come under fire again on social media over his comments on media freedom in Nigeria. The minister, while speaking at the ongoing 45th United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization Conference in Paris on Thursday, said that Nigeria is completely different from how it's being perceived internationally, and that he is yet to see any country that is more liberal than Nigeria in granting access to information by the media, even among developed countries. Well, the minister also said that the current administration is an extremely tolerant government, to the extent that it is the government that is at the mercy of the media in Nigeria. This is completely, bizarre. We are just talking about, the ban on social media, the fines that have been imposed here and there, even the narrative to be clamped down on, by the media. And, the Minister of Information, is saying this. I guess he's trying to sell the country as usual. But we all know that freedom of, there's really no freedom of information at this point, just given the fact that we really don't even have access to Twitter.
Yes, you're right, he's doing his job.
Yeah.
That's what he's expected to say.
Absolutely.
But Reporters Without Borders have actually rated Nigeria this year at 120 in the world in terms of press freedom. And we've fallen 5 places. Last year we were 115 out of 180 countries. And they said that Nigeria is one of the most dangerous places in West Africa to be a journalist. So they would disagree vehemently with the Minister of Information. He might want to have a look at their report, and possibly, if he does want that for Nigeria, if he wants Nigeria to be this bastion of press freedom, he might want to read their report and try and put some things in place.
If he's not picking hole in that report of Reporters Without Borders, the truth has to be said. Yeah, he can do his job. He should make Nigeria look good. Yes, we want things to be better in the country. We want Nigeria to do well. But the question is it the same? No. Things are not well as regards press freedom. The Vanguard journalist was killed. We're hearing all sorts of cock and bull stories. They said he was hit by a hit-and-run driver, and for 29 days they didn't find his body. Now they found his body. It is difficult being a journalist in this country. We told a story that a lot of the regulators didn't even verify with a timestamp the veracity of the video, and we're all fined. The 3 top networks in the country were fined.
And we
You're
were
talking about the Lekki
upgraded.
matter.
Yeah.
We were not just, we were upgraded. I haven't been talked to like
so
that since
the
I was
3
in
top
school.
networks in the country were fined because they took a position on the story.
Right.
He further went to say that 145 online news sites are speaking against the government. You see, there is a room for narrative in media. And that's why, I'm sorry, I'm not a school of thought of this neutrality in media. What the media will promote is plurality. There's no, anybody that tells you neutrality is lying. He doesn't know media. So if there are plural voices, you have the right to put your voice out there. Like we are enunciating his views, but we are being plural by giving another view to it.
Right.
And that's the way media works. So, and I'm sure for the 145 sites online that says speaks against the government, speaks against Nigeria, there are 1,000 more that speaks in favor of. But based on our views, on my view this morning, it is not the case, because all we have seen is high-handedness. And the regulators that are supposed to be independent have been used to fight the media. Go and see how media regulators are made up in ordinary Ghana. It is set up in such a way that the government even have no business talking to the regulators in the first place. But here, the minister can tell the regulators, shut them down. They will shut us down. So for the fact that the regulator that is supposed to be independent is fighting to be free, then you say there's press freedom. If he really wants press freedom, or if he claims there is press freedom, we should start by changing the laws that formed NBC in the first place.
They were just upgraded.
And take the NBC away from the control of the ministry. And let's see how that works. Let the NBC truly be independent. Let's start from there. Then we'll know we're on the path of press freedom. This country can be great, but we must have plural voices in making this country great.
Absolutely.
That's his view. There's another view. Plurality.
Well, all right. We'll take another story. On the use of maltreatment of Nigerians by Indian authorities has been making headlines all year. On Thursday, a new video emerged showing Nigerians protesting in front of the Nigeria High Commission in New Delhi against police brutality. They began by singing the national anthem. Let's take a look.
Please, we are one Nigerians, we are one Africa. United Africa, we stand. One Nigeria, we stand. Please, they are breaking our doors. The placard here can speak for us.
Expecting money from us.
Let us sing the national anthem, submit our petition to them. The embassy, they want to go inside now and come back. Please, just give them at least 10 to 15 minutes. Let us go inside and please, they will.
When you tell them that they're breaking our door in the night. This is where they start.
We after the innocent women and the children in police detention. Not only them. Not only them, brother.
I mean, Rufai, I believe this is the third story I'm bringing this year.
Yes.
Previously, there was a man that was lathi charged in India. What, like a absolute criminal for nothing. If you recall, I took that story recently. And I believe there was also another story that caused this actual protest about a woman and her baby that was, brutalized by the police. And I believe you just said you asked Chairman Abike Dabiri, Chairman Nigerians in the diaspora. What did she have to say about this particular situation?
The Nigerian head of the consulate or the ambassador or the high commissioner to India is working on it. They're looking into it. In fact, you said he came to address them during a protest and he was booed and all of that. But the question I keep asking is, for them to boo their own ambassador, a lot will have transpired. And also in that interview, she said something that was quite shocking. That we all know that the consulates, the high commissions everywhere in the world are not well funded. So they don't have money to prosecute cases like this. And you see, it goes back to us as a people. The question is, yes, and we've had stories like that our Nigeria high commissioners and high commissioners in other parts of the world are not well funded. In fact, there was an infamous story of an incident that happened somewhere in the caucuses of the Nigerian High Commission that the situation of the toilet was bad.
I remember
You remember that story?
The plumbing issue.
Yeah, the plumbing issue was so bad. But the question is, what respect do we have for Nigerian citizens living abroad? Because if we say that we can't cater to their needs, we forget that we're so easy to bandy around that amount, that 25 billion we're getting in diaspora remittances, or sometimes I think 19 billion now we're expecting. But we forget it's the Nigerians in India and some other parts of the world that are bringing in that money. So what care do we have for them? In fact, we don't even give them the right to vote in the first place. Somebody talked about, oh, Nigerians in diaspora have been able to vote. The deputy speaker of the House of Representatives shut the person down about diaspora voting. So what respect do we have for them? We're talking about the case of Intunu this morning. And I think it behoves on us to do better for Nigerians living in diaspora.
Yes.
Yes, the argument can be made, in the sake of plurality, that they should be of good conduct, represent Nigeria well, don't get into crimes and things like that, yes. But what about the innocent ones that sometimes you just know that in the grand scheme of things and in the argument, they didn't get enough consular service?
Yes. But I don't know about this funding. Isn't there supposed to be some sort of dialogue that should be happening at this point? I mean, isn't that what is supposed to be happening?
Between whom and whom?
Between the Nigerian High Commission and the Indian authorities at this point.
Well, okay, you're saying that talk is free. At least you can talk.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
At least we should see that to start
but
with.
you know, I hope that that's happening. But yes, we just spoke with the chairperson, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa, and my concern is just generally the weakened regard for Nigeria and Nigerians all over the world, the way we're treated so badly. When you look at Tafawa Balewa as Prime Minister of Nigeria, when he traveled abroad, look at the way he was received. Look at the way our Alake of Egbaland was received back in the day. Look at the way a lot of Nigerian foreign dignitaries back then, even regular Nigerian families, you know, if you're shopping in Europe or whatever, there's a red carpet. Today, we're treated so badly with no repercussions. So obviously, everybody thinks they can declare open season on Nigerians. It makes me sick.
Very unfair. Well, I hope there will be more to come with this story. I really need an explanation. We need an explanation at this point.
So bad.
Well,
So sad.
you all have a great weekend.
TGIF.
Thank you. That's all I have on what's trending today. I'll see you all next week.